Hi guys, it's Night Deer, and I have decided to participate in Vlogmas. I don't know why I'm doing this, because last month I didn't do so well on vlogging every day for the 50 a day, or hashtag 50 a day November, but I thought I'd give it another chance. So, for this, my very first video, I decided to do a tag. Now this is the one that a lot of people have done. I was not tagged in it. Since I don't do a lot of tags, I don't usually get tagged in them very often. But this one, this tag is called Do I Have That Book? And the original tag was created by Keeping Tabs, and I will link their channel down below. So I decided to put my own little twist on this, and since I love Stephen King, I decided, now most of these, they run around and jump and everything, and because I film on my Kindle, and because of my issues with my back and everything, I took my time, so this is not going to be a timed one, and I pulled out all the books that fit these challenges, and I tried to get as many Stephen King books as I can, or as I could. So I ended up, I think I counted like, was it 13 or 14 books, Stephen King books. So I did pretty good, and there was one I didn't have at all. And so I'm going to replace that one. I'll tell you, excuse me, the original challenge, and I replaced it with another. So, okay, so the very first one is, do you have a book with deckled edges? And I do have a Stephen King book with deckled edges, and this is Dolores Claiborne. So there's my very first Stephen King book. Yay! The next one is, do you have a book with 3 or more people on the cover? And yes, and it's a Stephen King book. Well, Richard Bachman, but Richard Bachman is Stephen King. And if you see, there's a person on a bike. There is the person, the little boy here. There's the mom. And I don't know if you want to count this guy here, but so there's more than 3 people on the cover. So, and this is The Regulators by Richard Bachman. So, who is, if you don't know, that is Stephen King. Okay, then the next one is, you need to find a book based on another fictional book, or, yeah. So, I found a book, but it's a Stephen King book, but it's also going to be, it's going to fit another challenge. So I did get another book in case if we're not allowed, you know, that you guys don't think that's fair. But Sleeping Beauties is a retelling of Beauty, or Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty. And it's by Stephen King and Owen King. And so this is the Stephen King. And I still haven't read this one yet. I really need to. But as you can see, it's really, really big. So I need to read it in a month where I don't have a lot of readathons. But anyway, so this one, but it also counts for another challenge. So I did get this one, which is called Another Peter Pan. And it's by Daniel and Dina Nayeri. And it's a Peter Pan retelling. So just in case, I'm covered. Okay, the next one is, do you have a book with a title 10 letters long? And I do, and it's a Stephen King book. And this one took a while for me to find, but it's Bag of Bones. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Bag of Bones is 10 letters long. And then we have a title that starts and ends in the same letter. This one isn't by Stephen King, but it's about Stephen King. And so this one is Stephen King, The Art of Darkness. So it starts with S and ends in S. And this is by Douglas E. Winter. So, yeah. So, this was actually a pretty good book. Of course, it's really, really old. It was written, I've had this for a really long time. In case anybody wants to know, the copyright on this is 1984. So yeah, it's kind of old. But I keep it with my Stephen King collection. Okay, the next one is a mass market paperback. Now, I think this is what you'd consider a mass market paperback. I'm not an expert on a lot of this stuff. So I would think so. This is The Dark Half by Stephen King. I think this would what you consider a mass market paperback. If it's not, let me know. Let me know, you know, how you determine if it's a mass market paperback or not. Because I'm not sure. And as you can see, this one's really old. I got this in a used bookstore. So, yeah. This is one of my, not the favorite book, but this was always one of my favorites. And I love the cover. Doesn't that look cool, the way the eyes, the birds. Very cool. Okay. Author using a pen name. Yeah, this one was easy. Of course, it's Richard Bachman. And it's Stephen King writing as Richard Bachman. And this is Blaze. And I have not read this one yet. There's a lot of these I have not read. Or if I've read them, I don't really remember them. Character's name and title. I could have used Cujo, which I own. Carrie, which I own. Could have used Dolores Claiborne, which was the very first book. I also have this one, which is Lycia's Story, which is by Stephen King. I love the way the cover is with the flowers, with the naked. I think this is probably the prettiest naked book I own. So then you put it, you know, the cover over it, and it shows that through or actually, it shows that through the thing. So, yeah, I think it's pretty. And I haven't read this one yet either. Well, no, I think I started this one, but never finished it. Okay, next. Okay, so that was the character's name. The 9th one is 2 maps. I looked. Stephen King is not known for books with maps. I did find a couple with 1 map. And then I looked through some of my other books. It's the hardest thing to find 2 maps in a book. But this has this map in the front cover. And this map in the back cover. And this is the Feast of Crows by George R.R. Martin. This is one of the A Song of Ice and Fire, which is, yeah, I know these books. I watched this. What is Game of Thrones? Yeah, but this is one of the Game of Thrones books. And I got this because it was only $3 for this nice, floppy, big, brand new book. So, and I have the first one, I think. But I haven't read any of these yet. So, I need to get the rest of them. Turned into a TV show. That was pretty easy. Into the Dome. Or Under the Dome, not Into the Dome, by Stephen King. That's a pretty, I'm sorry. It's my, if you're curious, because I never finished this one either. I got that far into it. Never finished it. This is my Gandalf bookmark. So Gandalf the White, and then that was the ring. And it fell off. It got cut or something, so I had to tie the ring on there. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I need to start this one over and finish this one. Because I was really enjoying this, especially when the dome comes down. Very descriptive, very good. So, okay. Someone famous for something else. Now, yeah, I don't have a lot of this, and so this might be a little bit of a stretch. But this is The Way I See It by Temple Grandin. And she is actually a PhD in animal husbandry. And she is the one that actually designed what they use for the cows to go around in before they get slaughtered. She was the one that designed that. So she is famous for that. I mean, I know it's kind of, you know, what do you call it? I don't know the word for it, but anyway, that's what she's originally was famous for. And then she started to write books, and she also is a speaker. She talks about autism, and yeah, so, and I would love to be able to go and see her. All right. Clock on the cover. midnight. As you can see, there's a clock on the cover. And I've actually read this one. This was pretty good. This is one of his short story collections. I think I finished this one. Pretty sure. Oh yeah, this is the one with the Langoliers in it. Yes, I have read this one. I like the Langoliers. It was good. The movie's pretty good too. Poetry book. This is A Light in the Attic, Poems and Drawings by Shel Silverstein. I have 2 of his books. So, yeah, poetry book. Yeah, I can't really do Stephen King because Stephen King, to my knowledge, has not written any poetry. So, the award stamp, and I was surprised, none of my Stephen King books have award stamps on them. I don't know if he just doesn't do that. I mean, I'm sure he's gotten awards, but anyway, so this one actually has 3 award stamps, and that they are the Newbery Honor Book, the Nonviolent Social Change winner, the Coretta Scott King Award, and the National Book Award winner. And this is Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, and I have not read this, and this is also a poetry book, and it also has deckled edges. So this book actually would have done for several of these, would have fit in several of these challenges. So, okay, then we have author, same initials as me. My initials are MZ. Good luck on that. I know Marcus Zuzak has that, but I don't own any of his books. Doubt I ever will. I doubt I ever will. I did not like the book thief, and so I am not really anxious to read any other of his books. So I decided I would share my very favorite Stephen King book with you, and that is The Eyes of the Dragon. And this book is really old. I mean, really, really old. Let's see, it's got the dragon on the cover on the naked book. And this is actually a fantasy book, and it's really, really good. And this actually has Flag in it, the Dark Man, yeah. So anyway, but this is really good. It's about a boy who sees something he shouldn't, and what happens. And it's got some really awesome artwork in it too. If you can get a hold of this copy. I'm not sure. I've only read this in this copy, so I'm not sure if the other copies have the artwork in it or not. But this is a really good book, and if you've never read Stephen King and don't really like horror, I would definitely recommend this one. Okie dokie. Book of short stories. The Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. I have several, like I have different seasons. I have 4 Past Midnight. I have several Nightmares and Dreamscapes, several short story collections by Stephen King. And this one I still haven't read. I put it on my TBR again and still haven't read this, so I'm just gonna have to crack down and make myself, as I know once I start I'm gonna be fine, but I just have so many other books, and I just, yeah, no excuse. I just haven't read it yet. Then I have a book between 500 and 510 pages long, and I have The Dark Seasons, which is another Stephen King short story collection, and it is 507 pages. So that fits that. Then I have Turned Into a Movie. Once again, with Stephen King, this was easy, but I just picked one I wanted to show. I have It by Stephen King, and I have read this one, but I read it when I was a teenager, and so I really need to reread this one. But as you can see, it'd pretty much be one of the few only books that I read. So I don't know though. I did read 585 pages the other day, so I might be able to read this, but I really liked this cover, and I was glad that Ollie's had it, and I only paid $3.99 for it. So yeah, so that was Turned Into a Movie. A graphic novel. Now Stephen King has I just read it. It was the American Vampire. So he has written and that was actually, there was 2 authors on that one, and I can't remember the other guy's name right now. But he has written a graphic novel, or participated in writing a graphic novel, but I don't own it. So the only graphic novel that I do own is The Watchmen. And it says Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. And I think I've read this before. And I know I've seen the movie. I don't really remember it though. So I probably, one of these days I need to read it again. But yes, I do own it. And I do really want to own more graphic novels. And I did have, well, no, those are more mangas, but I did have the Vampire Hunter D, but when all my books got lost, I lost it. And this actually, I had the copy, and then I've re-gotten the copy since then. So, and then the very last one, I know this video is taking forever, written by 2 authors. Now, I could have sworn I had, but see, this was probably before, but that I had the one, like the Talisman with Stephen King and Peter Straub, or, well, no, I've never owned the Dark House. But I don't have that one anymore. I have to get it again. But I do have, once again, Sleeping Beauties, Stephen King, and Owen King. So this is two different authors. They are related, but they're still 2 different people. So, but this is the one from earlier that I said that, you know, could have counted, but so anyway, but this is that one. So that's it, guys. You know, I think I did pretty good on this tag. Sorry you didn't see me running around, but yeah, maybe one day when we move and I have my library / craft room where my bookcases are better, and I have a couple more where I have my books. Because right now my books sit on my shelves and they sit like this, where, you know, it's sitting like this, one book behind the other. So it's really difficult to get to them, which is another reason why I didn't show you me getting them. So, but anyway, I had all of them but one, in one way or another. And so this is just kind of, you know, so, you know, try this tag, and like me, if you have a favorite author where you have a lot of books by that one author, even if it's, you know, Stephen King, go ahead and try and see how many books you can do this list with. I will, like I said, try to remember to link Keeping Tabs video down below. And please remember to always be kind to one another. And I hope you enjoyed my very first Vlogmas video. And tomorrow I'm hoping we're going to put up the Christmas tree, and I'm hoping to be able to vlog that, so that you can kind of hang out with Christopher and Kaylin and I, and maybe my fiance. He's not real into wanting to be on camera, but we're going to see if we can get him. But yeah, I think that would be a nice day 2 vlog style. So, if you want to see anything, I might mix in book stuff and crafty stuff and coloring stuff. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I didn't even realize I was going to do it until today. So, yeah, you know, me. Just kind of go with the flow. So anyway, bye guys. Be kind to each other, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.